Hey, hey, hey. Tom Hackett here, Rio Tinto Stadium. Wait for a few more people to get in, obviously, before we... Oh, there we go, a couple of people joining. If you're watching the game, please feel free to comment, whether you're watching really anywhere. If you're watching this on Periscope, which is Twitter, basically, or... wow, the moon looks beautiful tonight, or YouTube, or even Facebook, then just comment below. We can have a chat. We won't be too long. Just a little recap of first half action. Obviously, pretty big game for Real Salt Lake for a few reasons, but maybe the most important being that they were beat 5-0 by Colorado a week ago tonight. They didn't play a midweek game, which is different and unusual in 2020 and Major League Soccer. So to see them back out there and trying to lick their wounds, so to speak, it's been a promising first half for the Claret and Cobalt. They've been the much better team. Vancouver, not a very good team. Now, granted, I will say Vancouver have had a few opportunities on the counter-attack where they've looked a little dangerous. And RSL, got to be careful because we've seen it before and we'll see it again, hopefully not tonight. But, despite RSL having dominance at home, it's Major League Soccer, and there are players on Vancouver that can do some damage. And so nothing more demoralizing, really, in any professional sport than being on top, albeit level on the scoreboard, and then going down a goal because you make a few silly mistakes here. The ball bounces your way, and there you go. So Damir Kreilach starting up top, and Real Salt Lake look good with Damir up top. They're putting a lot of balls into the area. The ball movement from Real Salt Lake tonight is different than what we've seen over the last couple months. It's been a heavy dose of switching the play, meaning the ball is at the foot of Aaron Herrera in particular, or even Pablo Ruiz at times, and they're looking to the flanks, and they're looking to get the ball there through the air. Now, Aaron Herrera can play the ball incredibly flat. Obviously, we know what Pablo Ruiz is capable of as well from long distance, and so both those players have the ability to pinpoint passes, put it on a rope, and find the feet, chest, or thigh of their teammate. And so normally when Aaron Herrera has the ball, he's looking out to Justin Meram. And when Pablo Ruiz has it, he's looking more towards Michael Chang. So those guys have been very, very dominant and impressive. And a lot of the balls that do come out to the flank have been looked to be played in the air again into the likes of Damir Kreilach. And Damir Kreilach's been good. Now the problem Damir has when he plays at the number 9 position is he can get sucked into the midfield. He's done a good job so far through 45 minutes of not doing that a ton. Now, he still drifts into the midfield a bit, and then when Real Salt Lake move the football fast into their attacking third at times, you look and there's nobody in the centre of the park because Damir's drifted so far deep into the midfield, which is what number 9 shouldn't do often. But look, it's natural for Damir because he was brought to this club to play as that number 8 role alongside the likes of Carl Beckerman and Everton Louise, and so naturally he wants to drift into kind of where he feels more comfortable, if you will. But Damir's playing well as the number 9. He's kind of that controlling, back to the goal type player, quite a large human from a soccer perspective, and so he can hold the football up and get his players involved that are facing chest to goal. So Carl Beckerman's been good. He got a yellow card early as well. Nader Monawoha has been sensational. He's been the rock back there, as he essentially is every week, I guess. It's kind of strange that we don't talk about him enough, I guess. But he's so good, so dominant. The experience he brings is remarkable. And so nonetheless, he's been, you could argue, Nader Monawoha has been one of the better players, if not the best player on the pitch for Real Salt Lake tonight. But look, it just feels like one of these games, and this is kind of where I'll end. Hey, Drew, it's good to have you on again, my man. I miss you. Good teams don't panic when things aren't going their way. And right now, just that final touch isn't going the way of Real Salt Lake. The best opportunity coming when Damir Kreilach ended up attempting a header from inside the 6-yard box and drifting it just left. He couldn't quite wrap his neck around it fast enough, but they've had a few opportunities. They're pinning the football from outside the box. The ball movement's been pretty smooth. Tempo's good. They're controlling the game, and good teams, when things aren't going their way, don't panic. And so it'll be interesting to see in the second half how Real Salt Lake reacts, because it'll tell us a lot about what sort of team this is, just how well rounded they are, mentally more so than anything. But the mental aspect of professional soccer, professional football is so important, because it's a game that just a few small things here and there, and the outcome can be determined because of it. So Real Salt Lake certainly on top. Look, there's no question. Vancouver don't look all that dangerous going forward. They're having a hard time finding anybody in the midfield. They're defending so deep because RSL's kind of penetrating that back line of Vancouver's, that whenever Vancouver end up finding the football deep in their own territory, they've got no outlet passes. And so again, going back to kind of what I was talking about, the second half's important for Real Salt Lake because they need to stay on top, and they need to trust the system and the strategy and the game plan, because they're certainly deserving to be up at the minute. But look, it's all square at halftime, 0-0. So I do think Real Salt Lake ends up getting the victory. They just look too dangerous for me, but crazier things have happened. We'll have